For the coming weekend, we've got a couple of games that are done deals. They're never going to be difficult to call. There's a lot of strong teams playing against minnows, but there are a couple of games that will really be interesting to watch. It would be good for everybody overall to actually get a proper run. I'm glad that a lot of the darlings from the previous World Cup now get a chance to be part of a bigger autumn series in general. I hope that the World Rugby continues this, and they need to support this in a big way. I think it would be great if there's a bit more support for Namibia and for Tonga, Samoa and for Chile in this mix. Even if they bring in the USA to play a bit more, it would be a good thing to do. Romania can also benefit from it. They had limited play time during this time as well against better nations, but that is the only way that they're going to measure themselves, and they're going to be able to find ways to improve steadily. Let's get back to the really exciting matches for this weekend. For me, probably the most exciting one for the whole weekend is going to be the France-Argentina game. Argentina has shown that they're no pushover, and if they are going to play the way that they played against Ireland and how they played against the Springboks earlier this year and how they beat New Zealand earlier this year, France is in for a tough time, and I do hope that it is as close as we anticipate it to be. Everybody stays healthy. We're in for a very interesting night of rugby this coming Friday. Me personally, I hope that it's going to be Argentina, but I do think France will sadly just have a little bit too much. The next game that is going to be a very interesting one, but just for entertainment's sake, is going to put Ireland up against Fiji. It should be one where that Ireland should win comfortably, but the way that they've been falling apart might just open the door a little bit for Fiji to come in with a shock victory there. Fiji hasn't been great, but neither has Ireland. So it is a bit of a coin toss, but it should still be a fairly easy one for Ireland. But let's see what happens on the day. Romania-Uruguay is not going to be the showstopper of the weekend, but it's going to be good to just see those teams getting a little bit more game time as well. It's exactly what is needed, and it's something that we need to see more of. The Wales-Springbok game, sadly, I think it's going to have a similar scoreline to the Wales-Australia game. If South Africa doesn't put up 50 points against this Wales side, based on how they've played, the Springboks can see that as a bit of a fail. I do expect, though, that the Springboks will probably play one of their most inexperienced sides this coming weekend, and there's going to be a couple of new faces on the field that you would probably not be used to. But that's part of the excitement. They can still pull it off with that squad. That's going to be great news for Rassie and the team moving forward. Italy versus New Zealand. Yeah, it's going to be New Zealand. If it's Italy, we need to start worrying. Italy has been impressive when they've played the minnows, but they were also bashed early on in the tournament. That game against Argentina in the first week was a complete blowout, and I don't expect anything less from New Zealand. I think New Zealand is going to end on a high. They're going to be happy with the result, probably put up 50 or 60 points in the game. I do hope that it is a little closer than that, just for the sake of Italy and the positive growth that they've shown, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. The other game of the weekend that I think is going to be exceptionally exciting is going to be the Scotland-Australia game. Scotland has shown that they can really turn on when it is needed, and they can play spectacular rugby, and they've been one of the biggest joys to watch in the past couple of weeks. Australia, however, has been the surprise of the last couple of games. And the way that they are playing, it is very unpredictable in terms of what we're going to see on the day. Hopefully it is a free-flowing game. Hopefully it is one where we do see scores in the 30s or 40s from both teams. But I think it's going to be a joy to watch. I'm actually looking forward to that one. I don't know that I've ever looked forward to an Australian game if they weren't playing South Africa. But in this case, I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's going to be damn good to actually watch. The last game, it's just rounding off the weekend. England-Japan, it's going to be an encouraging one for England. They should walk away with a win and then feel a little better about how the whole autumn series ended. They've been on a bad streak with their sixth straight loss, and hopefully this is going to be something that would just buoy them a little bit and show them, yes, they still can. Even though it's Japan, it's going to be something that would be good for the English team. After this weekend, there's only a couple of games left. It's not that everybody's competing. So after this weekend, we'll have a good idea of how everybody has evolved and exactly where we're standing with our power rankings, and how people have improved on the potential that they've shown up until this point.